Starting out giving all glory and praise to Yahweh by Shem, Yahweh Shah, by Shem Kadash, God of Israel, to the 12 tribes of Israel, double honors to the apostles and elders, of course, with great millstone, and all the archangels like myself coming in, pushing this truth. This is Yashar coming in with another lesson. Man, today we just gonna get into the history of BRICS, all right? The history of the BRICS nations. We're gonna cover that. Cover the little history, very briefly, not too much into it. And then, however, like Elder say, however the spirit goes, if it takes us somewhere, and we'll take it there as well. But because there's a lot of talks, and people are just now becoming aware of who BRICS is. This is my first time hearing about it was, like 2 to 3 months ago, and I'll just be honest with you, if it was my first time hearing about it, and I know other motherfuckers that ain't in this truth, they either just now hearing about it or ain't even heard about it yet. But basically, man, what BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. They want to position themselves to be representatives of the global South, all right, the global South. When you think about it, all it is just economics and political, a whole bunch of political shit involved in it. But they basically want to become the next big thing, like right now, what the US currency was the world currency, I believe, as of right now, if it hasn't changed. Let's see, what is the world currency? Yeah. As of right now, the US dollar is the world reserves currency. But as you can see, as this article says, that may not last, I don't know if y'all can see it. And the reason that it might not last is because America is in debt with a lot of motherfuckers. And of course we have the scriptures and the prophecies to back that up. But before we get into that, America's in debt with a lot of these motherfuckers. More specifically, so China. I remember doing a lesson on this about like 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. America owed China. America put more money into their military than they did paying back the money that they owed China. So basically, America put like $400 billion into their military, million something. I can't remember what it was, but they owed China. But they put more money into the military than they did spending, paying back China. And for all types of shit, just think about it. Majority of the shit that you see nowadays, is made in China that America uses. And it just goes back to the G7, 1976. You had Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, United States, and the United Kingdom in the European Union. And what was that? That was just some of the most advanced societies or advanced countries at that time getting together to just, to make the little works, make the little rounds, because everything is very money oriented, power oriented, and a lot of these countries, man, they want world dominance, hence that's why we have that term, that phrase, one, quote unquote, one world order, and the scriptures goes into that as well, it tells you about that. But basically, man, when it comes to BRICS, it was coined by Jim O'Neill in 2001. And if you want to know who Jim O'Neill is, I was just looking him up. He's the one that basically gave BRICS they name, So, who is Jim O'Neill? Is this guy? It's Edomite. This is old Jim O'Neill. I don't know. There we go. There we go. There you go. You see that motherfucker right there. Anytime you see an Edomite that look like this, you already know what's up. You know what I'm saying? But basically, Jim O'Neill, he was the chief economist of the multinational investment bank, also known as Goldman Sachs. And I'm pretty sure for you Octans are familiar with them. And, it was actually BRIC. It was actually just BRIC when it was first initially started, BRIC was developing economic growth quickly at this time. So around 2001, a year after I was born. So that shows you that for me to even be looking at these things and never was taught this in school and any of that, it just shows how unimportant these types of things are to the average American. Cause I was like, damn, like I was 1 year old. You know what I'm saying? Like I never knew about BRIC or BRICS. Never heard that in school. But all of a sudden now I have to teach myself what the fuck is going on in the world. You know, so it just shows, man. A lot of people don't take this shit serious, man. But it's serious. You know, BRIC was developing economic growth quickly at this time, but opponents said that the countries were too diverse to be grouped together like they were, and it was really just a Goldman Sachs marketing ply. So, like I said earlier, you know, first initially when Brazil, Russia, India, and China first got together in 2001. Well, I wouldn't say first got together, but like when they first started showing their allegiance, you know, a lot of people didn't have faith in it. They're like, you know, Brazil, that's motherfucking Israel. In Brazil, you got the I don't want to butcher it, you know, on what tribes refer back to Brazil. But then when you got the Russians, them the Edomites, you know, them your mighty men of war, you know, Meshach and Tubal, Gomer, you know, them terms. You know about the Russians. Then you got the Indians, you know, them the wealthy motherfuckers, you know, hey, my friend, and all them motherfuckers. And then ended off, you got the Chinese, who was like all, you know, under one dictatorship and shit. You know, got the motherfuckers marching and doing all that. So yes, these countries are in their ways very, very diverse. But think about it. All it is, like I was saying earlier, all it is about the money and the power. That's basically what it is, man. These rappers show you that. That's all they talk about: power, money, and having bitches and all this. Guess what? It's the same thing with these elites. I don't give a fuck about. I don't give a fuck about America. They don't care about no motherfucking what's the shit? They don't care about no fucking population, man. These motherfuckers, they want power, man. They want to control the world, control the populations. They want to use population control because they feel like it's too many people on this earth. There's 8 billion people. But yeah, how Shai gonna take care of that? We know that with them angels. We actually gonna get into that. But man, that's all it is, man. It's just world dominance. But we're gonna continue with the and these just were some notes that I took down from reading the article, you know. I was so into the article, I started writing everything down, so might as well bring it out, you know. But it says after 2001, BRIC, because remember first it was just Brazil, Russia, India, and China. BRIC then grew into a platform for intergovernmental cooperation. Okay, I'm gonna say that line again. Intergovernmental cooperation. So even though we very distinct between the four, they came together for one agenda. And what's that one agenda? See, now it's making sense. Now it's coming to you. Now the light bulb is clicking in your head. You're like, oh, you got BRIC, then you got NATO, and then so right. See how that goes? One side wants this, one side wants that. Confliction. All right, that's how that works. And we're gonna get into that. You know, we're gonna get all into Revelations as well. So just stay tuned for that. We're gonna bring the scriptures out. But excuse me. It says BRIC then grew into a platform for intergovernmental cooperation similar to the G7, just referring back to 1976, which is Canada and France and Germany and Italy, Japan, United States, United Kingdom, and European Union. And it says in 2009, the four nations met for their first summit in Russia's Yekaterinburg. Okay, so for the first time in 2009, I'm assuming that top representatives from those four countries, they finally met. So now you're starting to see the relationship building, you know. Now you're starting to see the face-to-face interactions, not anymore, you know, hey, from my country. Now they coming together, see? And this shit been going on, man. It said it happened in 2009, which was 14 years ago. But it's a motherfucker first time ever hearing about a motherfucker like this, just now getting affiliated with it, associated with it. See how America got you, man? You know, but we understandable because America is just, you know, it's just confusion. Babylon, America, what is it? Babylon means confusion, mystery. Babylon means mystery, you know. And it says in 2010, South Africa was invited, adding the S. And why did they invite South Africa? Well, South Africa is very vast in natural resources. South Africa is thriving. If you look at Africa, South, West, North, and East Africa, South Africa is the top. And I even talked to which I know he's an Israelite because he's from West Africa, Liberia. And even though he has that African accent, he has all the characteristics of an Israelite, So, but even this dude I used to work with, he was like, yeah, man, like South Africa, damn near like America. Like you go down there and it's the downtowns and the nightlife and the money, you know what I'm saying, athletes and all that. He was like, it's damn near, it's like that. So I would see why they added South Africa. Like, yeah, come on, join in. Fuck America, fuck that westernized shit, fuck everybody who fuck with America. Come on, let's build our roots from the ground up. Referring to BRICS. So it says in 2014, they launched the new development bank backed by $50 billion, okay? So they actually use finances to back themselves up, see? Because what? With the money comes the power, you know what I'm saying? Money is the roots of all evil. So the more money we can use and back ourselves up with, the stronger we are, the more we can have, And just fast forward to as of 2023, many other countries are looking to join BRICS. So motherfuckers trying to get in with this shit, man. Motherfuckers, they see what's going on. I'm pretty sure these other countries are well tied in with Russia and China and India and Brazil and South Africa. Cause come on, these the top countries, you know what I'm saying? These are top motherfuckers that's got the resources, That's why I say Russia, they keep supplying Brazil with fertilizer. And if you know anything about that, motherfucker, Brazil like to grow shit, you know what I'm saying? Crops and all that and drugs too. So you see how these things go, you know what I'm saying? Cause think about it, man, it's the wicked. They know what the hell they doing, man. They know exactly what's going on in the world, exactly where the money's going, exactly what they need to be even more rich, and that's what they gonna do, man. It's money is the root of all evil. So like, I keep sipping on this tea, it's pretty good. But so now that we learn about BRICS, now that we just, like I said, we just pulled some brief history out into BRICS, and the reason I didn't really like go all the way into it, cause I thought about like, man, I could do lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, like the Akims normally do, but I feel like, Akims, if you really want to go more in depth, that would be something you could do on your day to day, because this is something that, this ain't just, I'm reporting on it today, but it gets worse by the day, you feel me? And so now we actually gonna bring the scriptures out to see exactly what they have to say about these countries that are coming together to end they shit with America. Basically, they don't cut ties with America and all that westernized civilization shit that we got going on here in America and Babylon, because they seeing that, for one, it's failing. America's becoming a boiling pot, and for 2 or 3, I know I got 3 fingers up, the spirit has actually been put on these countries, excuse me, especially Russia, to actually start doing these things and getting these things moving, because for one, it's in the prophecies, and no problem, the world will not pass before all prophecies happen. And for 2, it's that time. It's that motherfucking time. Cause in Revelation, I'm gonna get into the scripts. I ain't gonna bring it out yet, but it's that time, man. It's the end times. Like, right now. Like right now. So we gotta learn about these things. Gotta get educated about these things. Gotta start preparing about these things. Cause when the spirit is put on the hopeful men of the elect, you better hope. And I say this with fear and trembling too, because I'm working out my own salvation. But you better hope that spirit be put on you to be able to endure all these things, because if you don't know about this shit, you gonna be a part of this shit, and you ain't gonna know shit, and ain't shit gonna have them good for you. But you using these scriptures, you was hearkening to the word, you was staying diligent, doing the works, then you good, you alright. But so we're gonna go into Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 9. So the book of Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 9 says, For lo, I will raise up, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. And who is the northernmost country? Is Russia. Anytime you see the north country, I'm not gonna say every time, but that north country is Russia. And it said, because I'm gonna read it again. It says, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly, okay, BRICS, an assembly of great nations. Those are the greatest nations when it comes to economic and financial and political development from the North Country. And that North Country being Russia. Let's see, we got a map. Map of the world. And it only makes sense because Babylon ain't gonna come against Babylon, motherfucker, you know? Let's see. And so, come on. I'm gonna just bring up a map because, you know, we gotta fight them with the facts. You know, I can't have motherfucker be like, well, you know, North Country, man, I think it's talking about North America. No, okay? Just because it say North America don't mean it's the northernmost country. Because if you look at this map, you have America, which is, sorry, let me get my pen. You have America, which is right here. America, see that's America. That's North America. See, you got Mexico, I like saying that. And you got United States, and you got Canada. And what's the north country? This. Because that's more north. Russia is more up than America is, all right? Visually, as we can see by visual, all right? But I just like to back myself with the facts. But I'm gonna read it one more time, start from the top. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 9, it says, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the North Country. And remember, just to back it up even more, just remember, the first time that BRICS the first time that they met face to face was in Russia. Because remember, it says in 2009, the four nations met for their first summit in Russia's Yekaterinburg. So ain't that nations assembling together in the North Country? Okay. But you have to know these things. You have to know the history, the timeline. You have to bring out the maps, because all these things matter, which I was taught. And the truth ain't gonna speak nothing but the truth. Okay, and it says, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty men. Salaki, I butchered that. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. What's them arrows? Missiles. Not. Okay, get the Mayan and the Incan and the Aztec, all that. Get that out. That's not referring to that, okay? You know, that's not referring to that. It's referring to ICBM missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles. Them is them arrows. And when it says none shall return in vain, because America is gonna be wiped away, desolate. It ain't gonna be no, woo. I'm glad that missile didn't hit Texas. Woo. I watched it go right over to Texas. Guess what? Texas got 5-10 missiles for that ass too. Maybe even more. You know, I don't know exactly how many gonna be, but nah, motherfucker, none shall come in vain. So the whole United States of America is gonna be dust by the end of these arrows, all right, also known as intercontinental ballistic missiles. Now, when we hop into Revelation chapter 11, verse 14, just a precept, it says, the second woe is past. Behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And I just got this breakdown last Saturday. That's why I'm able to bring it out now. Because that third woe is talking about World War III. Have we seen World War III yet? No, we have not. But guess what? Who's going to be the major motherfuckers involved in World War III? BRICS and NATO. BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and all the other motherfuckers that want to join. United States. I'm sorry. NATO. National Atlantic Treaty Organization, whatever it's called. European Union, America. See how it worked? Same thing in World War II. You had the Axis powers, and you had the, what the fuck was this called? Let me pull it up. Same shit, man. Same shit. Because I always, at World War II, Axis versus, there you go. You had the Axis versus the Allies. The Axis powers were Germany, Italy, Japan. The allies were Great Britain, the United States, and Soviet. Well, see, that just goes back into even more deeper history because the Soviet Union used to be Russia. Then a motherfucker be like, well, they used to be Russia, then why was they helping the U.S. and so forth. So we didn't even have to get into all that. But all it is, man, it's about that money and power, man. That money and that power. That's all it's ever been about with America in the world. They just want world domination. And the reason I brought out that the second world was past and behold the third world coming quickly, because that's my right fucking now. We about to get ready to see that shit, man. And the spirit is already upon, I'm not gonna say, well, yeah, because other nations, they sense it too. Edomites, we already know what they own. We already know what they own when it come to war. If they ain't, either they joining the army like a motherfucker. I'm seeing all the motherfuckers I went to high school with. If it's a bitch, she pregnant, and if it's a man, a nigga, white boy, whatever, he going to the military. All right, that's where he's scamming. But yeah, man, that spirit is being put up on these motherfuckers because they feel it. They can feel the intensity. They can feel the vibrations. They in the news. They watching. Trust me. They getting the letters in the mail because, man, these mighty men of war, they rounding themselves up, man. And then at the same time, what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. But yeah, that's all it is, man. That spirit is put up on these people because, like I said, they know they just now seeing what's going on. They're like, man, fuck that, man. Like, fuck it. I'm finna stand for my country. Because that's what this country has patronized. Oh, I thought about what I was gonna say. But that's what this country has patronized motherfuckers to do, is to sell your life to America, because the first four letters in soldier is sold. So nigga, you just sold your soul, you know? You're a soldier fighting for a white man's country and he don't give a fuck about you. That's what's happening. Now, what I was saying earlier was the spirit is actually being put on Israel to understand, like, bro, like, shit about to get real, because I was just at work about 2 weeks ago and the motherfucker brought up BRICS. Like, I was just like on break in the car, the motherfucker just chilling, you know, just regular vibing in the world. And motherfucker was like, BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, dang, what's this? I ain't said a word. I'm just sitting back listening to what they saying. It was like 4 of us. Like, yo, girls, it's finna go down. We finna have World War III. And I'm like, fuck, like, you motherfuckers, what? They identified that? Like, it just took them to read the article and they already talking about World War III. So, see, the spirit is actually being put upon these people in the world to understand that like, it's finna go down. But then it comes to the elect to gather the lost sheep of Israel. That's why we bring this word out. That's why you listening to these articles, reading these articles, studying what's going on, and studying to show ourselves approved, you know, as it says in Timothy. But that's what we doing, man. We there because it's coming down to them days. But I'm gonna continue, because in Numbers chapter 20, that's Matthew. It's Matthew. I don't know why the hell I put Numbers. Maybe it is. No. I know that's Matthew. But Matthew 24 and 22. What? Give me 1 second, Salakia. Yeah. I wrote Numbers down, but I don't know why it was Matthew. But Matthew chapter 24 and 22, it says, this is one of my favorites. It says, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. See? So when it comes to these other nations and the 2/3 of Israel who don't hearken to the world, if it was up to Yahweh Shai, they would have been done a long time ago. But prophecies do have to pass, you know, and that's why for the elect's sake, the days being shortened. Because think about it, I be the main motherfucker. Damn, it's already Friday. Damn, it's already Saturday. Damn, the weekend just went by like that. 2 snaps. Yeah. And I remember the first time I came across the scripture, I called y'all Canaan. It was probably like 2 years ago. And I was like, break this down for me. He broke it down for me. And I was like, oh. So Yahweh Shem Shah speeding time up. Go ahead and wake the men up. Prophecy happens, prophecy, boom, end, you know? But it's only a matter of time. That's why I'll chapter another precept, and we actually gonna end it off with this one. The book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 36. It says, watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. I'm gonna read it one more time. It's speaking to us, men, the hopeful elect, all right? Because everybody ain't gonna make it. Watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things, that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man, Yahweh Shem Shah. Okay. I'm gonna just sip my tea on that one, all right? I tell you, man, because, you know, as the days go by, as more things are happening behind the scenes, because we just sit on the outside looking in, we don't know exactly everything that's going on, all right? We don't get to hear the conversations between nations. And, you know, everything ain't on TV. They ain't gonna show everything. But we do have one thing that's letting us know all these things, all right? And that's the Holy Bible. So if you're Israelite and you want to know how to make it out of these atrocities, not be caught in a lake of fire burning, and you want to know how to have 100-fold for everything that you forsaken for this truth, follow that word, you know? But other than that, we're going to end it out, giving all glory, all praise to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah, God of Israel, to the 12 tribes of Israel. You know, shout out to the men of the Lord, the humble, the glorious, hopeful elect, doing everything we do. And, you know, y'all can keep doing what y'all doing. Stay strong, stay into this word. That's shalom.